So guys, are you looking for a way to kind of just shine up your truck, get it looking better than what it is? It's a patina truck, but you're tired of trying things like linseed oil and all these other things, and you want a more permanent solution and something that's gonna bring a little better shine to it. So I already know somewhere, somehow, there's gonna be a person down in the comments or somewhere that's going to think that I have now ruined this truck by putting some clear coat on it that makes it shine. To that person, I would like to say that this is my truck. If you would like to do something different, do that to your truck. All right guys, so there's a ton of different ways to do this. I opted for the permanent solution. And I would say, like, if you're looking for a high gloss kind of thing and you don't want to spend the time to like actually spray on a clear coat, this is probably the best option. It was very quick to put this on. The truck looks 100 times better, and ultimately for me, it's more about just preservation. I want to like preserve this as much as I possibly can without the truck completely rotting through all the body panels. So that's kind of what this is about for me, is just keeping the patina that's on it currently. I know that you can do that with a flatter finish. Again, I just wanted to go for a glossy finish. I just like the look a little better. This video is not just about this clear coat that I put on here though, because I used another product by this company, and it is their spray-in bed liner, and it turned out amazing. I love it. I will go over the products here in just a little bit, and you're gonna see kind of how I put this together, but I actually purchased this F100. It was actually just the logo itself. I don't know if it was CNC cut or what, but I ended up buying it at a car show, and I knew I was gonna use it on something. Didn't really know what. So I mounted my fuel tank underneath the bed, and the fuel pump is right underneath that sign. So I took the sign, I welded it to just a piece of sheet metal, and then took a rod and just kind of bent it around the perimeter to give it the thickness that was similar to, you know, the ribs in the bed. So that way it just didn't look all strange. So it sits in there pretty good. I like the way it looks, and you only take 4 screws out, and you can actually remove the in-tank fuel pump out instead of having to pull the bed. So that ended up turning out pretty good. So first thing with this product is you're not gonna have the finish that you would, like, you know, when I painted the 67 Vet, I wanted that as flat as humanly possible. This product was never intended to be like the, you know, a show car clear coat. This is literally something that anyone can do as long as you follow instructions, you clean well and everything, and prep everything correctly, and mix it correctly in a mixing cup. You're gonna get a fairly decent result. So this is Poppy's Patina. It's a spray-in truck bed liner. And this stuff is really, really good. I mean, I've used a lot of different products that are for truck bed liners. I've used Raptor liner in my other truck. I know the other video that's out there. And arguably Raptor liner is probably one of the more popular ones right now. And this is like right up there with that. This is, it's good. I mean, the texture is really good. You can build it up real thick, and actually through here you can see how pitted my metal was. So I ended up texturing the crap out of it so that I could, you know, kind of honestly hide some of the pitting that was in here. So I was able to do just that. I mean, there's some serious pitting right there, and this bed liner has helped to just kind of hide all that stuff, but also protect it. So, all right guys, so this is actually a 2-part bed liner. You got the actual black bed liner, comes in all these individual containers, and then you've got the catalyst that comes with it. And it tells you just to pour it in here until it gets about to the bottom of the threads there, and then put the cap back up, shake it on, and then the gun actually screws straight onto the top here and has a straw that goes down in here. So it's super easy to apply this. They actually send you a gun with the kit, a lot like, again, other companies will. But I do personally think that of all the truck bed liners that I've used, this gun is far superior to the other ones that I've used. So I know that might seem like a little tiny thing, but I mean, the gun that they sent me honestly was like, it was good enough to where if I was going to get another kit, it would be the Poppy's Patina truck bed liner. All right guys, so the clear coat is a wipe-on clear coat from Poppy's Patina. And I'll be straight up with you, okay? When I heard of a wipe-on product and having painted cars, I just thought there's no way that this would actually work. I saw videos, and honestly, I was more just curious, because I'm like, okay, these people are actually getting a pretty decent result. Let's try to put this stuff on. So that's what led me to trying this stuff out in the first place, and just the ease of throwing it on there. So I've tried linseed oil, and if you've tried linseed oil, you probably know what I'm talking about. I literally put it all over the whole truck, and then at first I was like, oh cool, it's like a satin shine, like not as glossy as this. But then I found myself, I thought my truck looked the best whenever it was just completely covered in rain. So I'm like, maybe I do want gloss. So that's why I ended up with the gloss in the first place, and I'm so glad I did, because I think this looks really good. A couple things real fast. First of all, I took some sandpaper and I went all over the whole truck. And the reason why I did that is because up here I had a pretty textured surface. So I went all over the entire truck with 1,000 grit sandpaper and wet sanded with some soapy water, just to kind of break up some of that, like, you know, texture that was sitting on top. So with that, it kind of, you know, made the patina, I guess, a little bit more widespread, which honestly, like, I mean, I like that. That's good. So it made it a lot flatter though. Once the wet sanding was done, the next step was to clean all the soapy water off of it, obviously. So they actually send you a wax and grease remover. So I just ended up using their wax and grease remover with several microfibers, and just clean the whole thing like 2 or 3 times, just to make sure that all the contamination was off of it, so that we can better our chances of this stuff sticking and actually being a long-lasting coating on here. So once all the wax and grease remover was done, I just went around, double checked everything, make sure like there was no dust or anything sitting on the surface, because that stuff will give you a really weird look whenever you clear coat over top of it. So then I started right in the middle of the hood, which I would advise not to do that, because I think you should test it in a not so obvious area, which honestly, that's what the instructions say, because there's going to be a learning period where you're trying to get the hang of how this stuff is supposed to be laid out. So I would start, if you're on a truck, I'd start on top and then just kind of mess around with it a little bit and see like how quickly it sets up. I mean, I know in this temperature that I'm currently in right now, it sets up pretty quick. So you kind of have to be quick, but you also have to be like, you have to be methodical and like actually think about where you're going and overlapping, not just crazy, you know, wiping the stuff on. So the nice thing about this now is that it's relatively low maintenance. I mean, you know, I can come out here, this is essentially just like a clear coat that you would spray on, it's just wiped on. So you can clean this the same way that you would a fresh paint job. If you want to hand wash it, you can hand wash it. If you want to like actually take it to a car wash, you can take it to a car wash. This is the whole reason I did this. When I was doing the linseed oil, unfortunately, I had everything looking good the night prior, and then the next morning I woke up and the truck had condensated and had caused this mess. It just looked like my truck was sweating. So it was, and I applied a thin coat, but honestly it had like run all the way down the side. The stuff dried and it just looked absolutely terrible. So that was what I had to get off to be able to put this stuff on, because the linseed oil will dry kind of hard. So it was tough to get it off. All right, now Poppy's Patina Clear Coat. Do I recommend it? So if you've got a patinaed truck like this, because that's what this is meant for. Let's remember what this is meant for. It's not meant to be a show clear. This is meant to be an alternative to, you know, going and paying somebody a ton of money to have some clear coat sprayed on. This is a wipe on clear coat. It's supposed to be really easy to put on, and for what it is, this looks great. Obviously the whole truck was never intended to be perfect anyways, so little streaks, I don't care about it. Again, if you're going for like a show truck, then I would probably go the spray route. But this stuff looks incredible for a wiped on product. This is by far better than any of the other patina treatments that I've seen. And I think that it's ultimately going to protect it more than any of the other products out there. So All right, guys, so if you have any questions about any of the products in this video, I can try to answer them as best as I can. I will also link down in the description to the products, or actually there's just their website in general. I do recommend the stuff. I'm not working for them, not working with them. I'm not like sponsored by them in any way, shape, or form. I actually purchased the stuff so that I could apply it on my own truck because I was just curious. And honestly, I just wanted to give you a completely unbiased opinion on what the stuff was like. And honestly, I'm pretty impressed. So to kind of recap, and I know I've said it a bunch, but if you're going for a show truck finish, like absolutely smooth as could be, don't use this because it's not meant for that. You know what I mean? Like if you're going that route, then there are products that are meant for that. Use those. This is not meant for that. This is for this truck specifically. I mean, this is ideal for something like that, like I've built right here. So I'm very happy with it. I definitely recommend it if you got something similar. So thank you for watching. Make sure that you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. I also have another update coming for the interior. So I'm excited about that. That should be in like within the next week, but I'll let you guys know how that goes whenever I get put in.